Imagine when the sun rises, when you wake up, you start throwing rubbish by putting this plastic milk box and the paper coffee cup into the rubbish bin.
Day by day, year after year, waste creation is a basis of our daily routine. With little if not zero awareness of reducing waste, we seem to totally ignore the seriousness of the waste problem. Is our landfill going to be saturated? Is our daily routine harming our environment? Is the waste problem really out of sight, out of mind?
In the light of this, we would like to carry out experiments to find out the source of waste. Why are they created and the solutions to alleviate such problems? A group of CTU students will be interviewed on their action of throwing rubbish.
In our experiment, we first check out the waste reception facilities in AC1 and we pick a rubbish bin outside LT8 and one on the 5th floor as our target. Secondly, we record the volume of trash in different time slots on 3 consecutive days. Thirdly, we recorded the types of waste in these targeted bins. This graph reveals the volume of trash on 12, 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. in the rubbish bin outside LT8. 3 time slots has similar volume in a day. However, 3 p.m. has a relatively small amount of rubbish in a day. The reason could be the trash clearance is between 12 to 3. This graph indicates a trend of an increasing waste volume in a day from 12 to 6. Comparing to the 4th floor, the 5th floor do not have a drop of volume in waste at 3. It reveals that the trash clearance is more frequent on the 4th floor. It may be due to the fact that less people walking past the 5th floor. For the type of waste, there are 1/3 of the rubbish is food packaging, such as the packaging of candy bars, chips, and etc. There are 1/4 of waste is drink packaging, such as those Tetra Pak drinks, and there are 7% of the waste are plastic bags and bottles, respectively. Lastly, 40% are papers, and approximately 10% are other trash, such as tissue papers.
The reason is that I didn't have this kind of habits since I was small.
Yes, I do have habits of recycling things such as paper I use to calculate the mathematics. Yeah, I do think Hong Kong waste problem is very serious as there are so many people in Hong Kong, about 7.2 million people in Hong Kong, and every day we produce many rubbish.
It will cause soil contamination and water pollution, and the toxic chemical substance may enter the river and cause some damage to the environment.
They will affect the people who live in Cheung Kwan O and bring about the air pollution because of the car which carry the rubbish travels by. We can build up some incinerators to burn the rubbish into ashes so to reduce the size of the rubbish.
All of the interviewees think that waste generation problem is serious in Hong Kong.
Solid waste production in Hong Kong is growing in volume.
All of them think that waste generation is inevitable.
Some of them think that it would cause pollution to our environment, such as water pollution, air pollution, and soil contamination, etc. For the solution, some of them suggest that we can build incinerators to reduce the waste problem. The majority of them suggest that recycling is a long-term solution.
After conducting interviews and experiments, the results show that the waste problem is really out of sight, out of mind, as a lot of rubbish that could actually be recycled was thrown into the rubbish bin. This reflects that not many students have recycling habits. Every year, more than 6 million tons of solid waste are produced in Hong Kong. Existing landfills will be on the verge of capacity one by 2020, and lots of pollution will be created. The garbage problem is at a critical point. The government has a responsibility to deal with such high resources consumption. But we, citizens, are also accountable for our great use of material every day. Do not take plastic bags. Bring your own bag when shopping. Consume all the food on your table. Use both sides of paper. Use your own towel instead of tissues. Separate out metal cans, plastic products, and paper for recycling.
The statement out of sight, out of mind can be false if every time when we create a rubbish, we think before we act, we think more whether we will harm an environment or we find some ways to recycle them. So let's take this action and work together. After taking a look at our experiment, you can know more about how to reduce our rubbish. For this plastic milk box, actually we can reuse it. We can simply wash it, and then it will be clean and we can use it next time. However, unfortunately, this paper coffee cup we have to throw to the rubbish bin.